Game 3 coming up. It's a 19 turn game. Bishop, Contraband, Courtyard, Island, Library, Lighthouse, Menagerie, Swindler, Thief, Throne Room. Sort of a scrappy board. So the problem with my analysis of Dominion in terms of who is winning is that when I look at a board of this in Dominion, the thought that I could definitely build a gold sort of deck, buy lots of provinces, and that would be pretty strong compared to the other options, sort of takes a backseat in my mind, and I would rather try to trash my entire deck with Bishop and then make some sort of throne room combo. Ideally casting tons of lighthouses and then casting library or something, because that would just be super cool. Like, those are just the sort of board where there isn't a clearly good action-based deck, but I find that I usually try to make it anyway. A couple of reasons for that. One is that it's a little more fun for me, maybe not for my opponent, but the other is that it gives you much greater ability to make decisions during the game, and I think I make decisions very well during the game. And so that ends up giving me an edge where maybe I shouldn't be getting it, because my deck is not technically the better deck. Let's see what these guys did. I'm sort of interested. It looks like they did two completely different things, and I honestly wouldn't be able to tell you which one was better on this board. It's a very sort of medium board in every way. It's funny, apparently, like, they're getting identical starting hands, so apparently he does this when he doesn't want to show extra money, even when his opponent knows that he has extra money. I guess it looked like he did it almost all the time or something. But he didn't do it then. I don't know. I would be irritated by it. Irritated, not like, you're a real dick, DOJ, but irritated like constantly thinking about exactly what it meant. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm doing that just reading the games too. So we have Island, Swindler, Bishop, Lighthouse. I think I probably wouldn't start with an island, but I can sort of see it. Like, it's a board where victory point totals are going to be low, so those islands are going to count for quite a lot, and it's a board where there just isn't good trashing really, so the islands, their deck thinning use is actually sort of relevant compared to other options. Grabbing a Contraband, I like that because there are so many, like, similarly strength cards. It's gonna make it hard to grab a gold though. DOJ is going for lighthouses this game. Buying a throne room over anything that cost 5. Is there anything? There's the library. Swindler. I don't know, DOJ has lighthouses. I don't know that Swindler is a good buy at this point. You have a lot of terminals in your deck already. Talking to Bibble here, as though he can hear me. Having another throne room. I like how DOJ's deck is sort of coming together. He can, like, he's getting in place a decent trashing mechanism, a decent money-making mechanism, and he can very easily add libraries to it and start cycling, or menageries to it also. Bibble, meanwhile, is just like sort of swindling without it actually working, because DOJ has a ton of lighthouses. But Bibble is getting a lot of islands, and on this board, those 2 victory points per will be adding up. He's also not playing a bishop for DOJ to trash with, whereas whenever DOJ plays his bishop, Bibble's getting to trash. I'm not one of the people who thinks that bishop is an awesome turn 1 or turn 2 buy. I think it makes it pretty easy for your opponent to play well against you. Sort of take advantage of how you're playing by just sort of relying on you for the trashing, like he's doing. Okay, so yeah, now transitioning into menagerie. Bibble is seriously just going all out for islands straight away. And DOJ grabs a library as well. Yeah, this is how I would be playing his deck, pretty much. That's intense. Grabbing a province with a contraband over the ban. I don't know if banning gold there was the correct play. It probably was. He has very few coppers left in his deck, I'm assuming. 3, yeah. So life sort of continues. They're buying money in provinces. It looks like Bibble, like these last 2 turns for him have seemed quite lucky to me. Are we at this stage of the game? Turn 15, 2 islands left. 5 provinces, I don't know. I think you might still be at the stage of the game where you want to make that library a duchy. Just barely. It's really close. I don't mind making it a library again either. I don't know how long he has until he reshuffles either. A long time. So yeah, that would make it better as a library as well. Okay, provinces. It's a late throne room. Sort of dig it. Menagerie does in fact draw 3 cards when it's turned on. And getting more provinces, getting gold, getting province. DOJ's deck just didn't quite turn on fast enough to deal with what I personally think was a number of quite fortuitous draws for Bibble. But definitely to his credit, I mean, I think Bibble does deserve to win the game. The island strategy at the beginning turned out quite well. That coupled with the fact that DOJ was playing bishops meant that Bibble was able to thin his deck quite efficiently, as well as building up a victory point lead on a board, which it was very difficult to pick up victory points on. If I were to suggest one change that DOJ could have made towards the end of the game there, I think what he needed to do to win, and he only just lost doing what he was doing. He just needed to be the one that got the last province. He was, yeah, probably 1 turn away. That library probably gets him there, I'm assuming. I think maybe his chance to win would have been a little higher if he's ignored buying provinces and instead got his deck flipping and started playing like 2 bishops a turn, throne rooming them maybe, and trashing golds. Is there just no plus buy here? There is plus buy. Bibble's been buying lots of stuff with contraband. So I guess you want to pick up a contraband for the plus buy. That does make what I'm suggesting a lot harder to pull off. But yeah, I think that's what I'd try to do, is try to like fully set up an action chain instead of DOJ sort of got close to fully setting up an action chain, but then transitioned into provinces a little faster than maybe was correct. Yeah, set up that full action chain, trash a couple golds a turn. That gets you like 8 victory points in 1 turn, dude. That's so many victory points. I think if Bibble is trying to end the game on provinces, which he sort of committed himself to, he has very little ability to pick up more than 1 card in a turn. I mean, contraband is the only way you can even do that on this board. So Bibble's sort of committing himself to ending the game on provinces, and before he buys 8 provinces, like look at his deck, he doesn't have much in his deck at all. Before he buys 8 provinces, I'm fairly confident that an action chain can get off enough bishops to win the game with tokens. Okay, and of course once you get sort of a leg up on tokens, you can transition into buying some provinces and just end it then as well.